In showing your most generous support to our distinguished honorees, the residents of Hebron, and the Hebron Fund. It is only through your commitment to Hebron and Eretz Yisrael that the community of Hebron has been able to persevere. Hebron is a city for all Jewish people, not just 1,000 Jews who live there each and every day. Our presence in Hebron and your presence here tonight, together with those around the world, is our response to those who do not understand that Hebron is our home. Roots of the Jewish people. More than any other city, Hebron symbolizes the bond of Am Yisrael to Eretz Yisrael. In the Ma'at HaMachpelah. We owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to these special families. They are the ones who face the daily challenges and the tremendous hardships, yet remain committed to living in Hebron. We at the Hebron Fund have been privileged to have the next speaker as a true friend of Hebron. Mr. Bronfman is one of New York's top criminal attorneys. He received his BA from Brooklyn College, a JD with distinction from Ohio Northern University, and an LLM in criminal justice from New York University. Mr. Bronfman is president of Bronfman and Associates, specializing in the area of civil trial practice and white-collar criminal law. He is a noted lecturer and a fellow of American College of Trial Lawyers. Mr. Bronfman is extremely respected and admired by all. He has always been a loyal supporter of Hebron and Eretz Yisrael. He has devoted his enormous talents to spreading the message of the importance of the holy city of Hebron. Mr. Bronfman is a man with enormous vision and strongly committed and passion to whatever he does. We know at the Hebron Fund that we can always depend upon him to stand by us. He is a devoted family man and supported of many worthy Jewish causes. His strong family values, integrity, and work ethics stem from his loving parents. We feel blessed to have him as a friend of Hebron. It is truly my honor to now call upon Mr. Ben Bronfman.
Thank you very much, Teddy, for that lovely introduction. This is an impossible room to work, so I'm going to need your cooperation, especially the people upstairs. We need your help. I've done about 300 dinners in the last 5 years. I've never been held hostage by any organization. You can't leave. There's no place to go. We're in a couple of 100 feet of water. So sit down and enjoy the program, because there's not going to be any more food until we're done. And we have 600 Jews on the boat, 200 Jews trying to get into the parking lot. We've lost 100 people who are already seasick, and the boat has not moved. And I don't want anyone to complain about where they are seated. Remember, you chose your spot. This is a unique venue. I'm not certain who to give credit for picking a boat or give blame for picking a boat, but we're here. And we're here for a good cause. We're here to make a statement. In case you haven't figured it out, this is our idea of a real flotilla. With good, honest, productive, fair-minded, intelligent citizens who are not looking to create terror, but looking to resolve important issues by making a public statement that we stand by Hebron and always will. The ultimate irony is this boat is owned by a Turkish national. And he thinks he rented the boat to the Hare Krishna. So tomorrow, when he finds out that we took his boat, at least it's sort of a round world, I think, at the end. And the people upstairs, if you're not going to be quiet for me, please be quiet for the honorees. If you're not going to be quiet for the honorees, please be quiet for the national anthem. So this is how we're going to start. I'm going to ask you to stand once, but remain standing. We're going to hear the Hatikva, the Star Spangled Banner. We're going to hear Perek Tehillim read by Rabbi Simcha Hakbaum. We're going to hear Prayer for Israel's Missing in Action read by Noam Armon. And we're going to have a Mishaberach for the sick of Hebron read by Yoni Blackbard. I'm going to try and move this program quickly. I need your cooperation. Everybody please stand and be quiet. We'll read a parafilm. Please remain standing. Rabbi, please join us.
We'll say Parakuf Chafalef, Shel Amalot, Esaina El Harim, Ma'ayim Yavo Ezri. You know the word Harim means mountains, but the word Harim also means parents. When the Jew's in trouble, he lifts his eyes to the parents who are buried in the mountains south of Yerushalayim. So in the schut of the Avot and the Imot, Shem should answer all our tefillot, B'chlal u'B'prat. Please join me. Shel Amalot, Esaina El Harim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Ezri Me'im Adonai Yosei Shamayim Ba'aretz Hayitein Lamot Raglecha Hayanum Shomecha Hinei Layanum V'lo Yishan Shomei Yisrael Adonai Shomecha Adonai Tzilcha Yad Yiminaka Yomam HaShemesh Lo Yakeka V'yareach Balayla Adonai Yishmocha Mikol Ra Yishmor Nafshecha Adonai Yishmor Tzedcha Vo'echa Me'ata Bi'ad Alai.
Thank you, Rabbi. If you could remain standing, please, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to ask former mayor of Hebron and also the current co-spokesperson of Hebron to read a prayer for Israel's missing in action, Noam Arnon from Hebron.
Thank you. We מזכירים זכות אבות, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב. מי שברך אבותינו הקדושים אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, יוסף, משה, אהרון, דוד ושלמה. הוא יברך וישמור וייצור את נעדרי צבא הגנה לישראל ואת השבויים, גלעד בן אביב השליט, יהונתן בן מלכה פולארד, גיא בן רינה חבר, רון בן בתיה ארד, זכריה שלמה בן מרים ברמל, יקותיאל יהודה בן נחמן בן שרה כץ, צבי בן פנינה פלדמן, בתוך שאר אחינו בית ישראל הנתונים בצרה ובשביה. בעבור שכל הקהל הקדוש הזה מתפלל בעבורם, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם, ויוציאם מחושך לצל מוות, ומסרותיהם ינתק, ומצוקותיהם יושיעם, ישיבם מהרה לחיק משפחותיהם. יודו לאדוני חסדו ונפלאותיו לבני אדם, ויקוים בהם מקרא שכתוב, ופדויי אדוני ישובון, ובאו ציון ברינה, ושמחת עולם על ראשם, ששון ושמחה ישיגו, ונסו יגון בנחה, ונאמר אמן.
Amen.
We begin to move, and we hope they will begin to move back home. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing, and I call on Yoni Blackbarn, the Hebron security chief, to say Mishaberach for the sick of Hebron.
מי שברך אבותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, משה, אהרון, יוסף, דוד ושלמה, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים, אייל חיים הכהן בן חי הדבורה, ואת הרב דוב בן רייזל, ועבור שכולנו מתפללים ברפואתם, וזכר זה הקדוש ברוך הוא מלא רחמים עליהם, להחלימם ולרפאותם, להחזיקם ולחיותם, וישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים, לכל איבריהם ולכל בגדיהם, בתוך שאר חולי ישראל, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, השתר בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ונאמר אמן.
Amen.
Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Pray and honor the citizens of Hebron. And two, we did it with class and dignity. And we did it respectfully. Let's not have people leave here tonight and say I was at the Hebron dinner and it was a balagan. Let's have people say we're at the Hebron dinner and I've never been to such an orderly, well-run, organized, respectful dinner. I have a good sense of humor, I've been told, and I also have a very serious side. I think tonight is a serious night. The Matzav in Israel is serious. The Matzav in Hebron is always serious, and now more serious than ever. And there isn't a person in this room, I trust, who doesn't have family, children, grandchildren, parents, siblings who are in Eretz Yisrael now. And many of us travel back and forth regularly. And despite the fact that we don't all live there, I think that is where our heart is. And the people who travel to Eretz Yisrael recognize that Hebron today is more important than ever. So I'm not going to be funny. I'm going to be professional. I'm going to move this program so that you can all get back to eating and having a good time. But for the next 40 minutes, please, don't make me stop so that we can honor our honorees. The way it's going to work is I'm going to tell you a little bit about the honorees. You're going to see a brief video presentation in which the honorees will accept that every tzedakah and chesed program that you can possibly think of. They have wonderful reputations. David writes a weekly column in the Jewish Star every 7 or 8 weeks. I agree with something he says. Jane is employed as a school psychiatrist for the Board of Education, one of the busiest people in New York. And together they live a life filled with chesed. If I could have that video turned on, in the meantime, if the guests of honor and Rabbi Weinberg could come to the side, we could do this quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the screen. Thank you. Weinberger of Shari Tefillah in Lawrence.
I stand here on behalf of our entire Kehillah this evening in paying tribute to a very special couple. A couple that represents what Hebron is all about. Avos, and we are the banim, we are the children. And they represent children to parents, and they are parents to their children. And they continue to pass on this beautiful Masorah of Torah and of love of Eretz Yisrael. And they've imparted this message to all they come in contact with. It's a chibur. That's what Hebron is about. Connecting the avos and the banim. And this is a time of achdus, that we're connecting all of Klal Yisrael to a place of our ancestors. This is a couple that indeed makes great waves, that they don't rock the boat. It's my honor and my kavod to present David and Jane with this beautiful award on behalf of Hebron. David and Jane Seidman, Bonei Hebron awardees, November 16, 2010, the Hebron 8 Flotilla, 9 Kislev 5771, Mazel Tov, may you continue to reap the benefits of your wonderful work, and may all your tefillas and our tefillas on behalf of Eretz Yisrael be fulfilled speedily in our day. Mazel Tov.
The next award is going to be presented by Rabbi Eliezer Baruch Shulman, the Rabbi of Young Israel of Midwood, and he's going to present the Chasdei Avot awardees to David and Jocelyn Stern of Brooklyn. They too have been involved in Shalamet, Avos Torah, Emunah, Young Israel of Midwood. Every chesed program that the congregation has, chesed programs of their own, but most notably they were part of their shul's mission to Israel during the years of the Intifada, when nobody was going to Israel, or very few of us were going to Israel. And they went and expressed support not just for the people of Eretz Yisrael, but they made special efforts to visit Hebron during the Intifada. It took guts, it took courage. Please welcome our Amudei Chasdei Avot awardees, David and Jocelyn Stern. First we're going to have the video, yes? Presented to them by Rabbi Eliezer Baruch Shulman,
everybody, okay?
Rabbi of Young Israel of Midwood.
Fine. Sarah, you come up. Esther Schiffer, why don't you come up on this? Stand next to your friend. Sarah, move there. Good. Next. Sorry.
As Yaakov prepared for his encounter with Esau, we read how he prepared for every eventuality, how he girded himself for war if necessary, how he tried to make peace if possible, and how he accompanied all of his efforts with prayer and petition for the Rebbeinu Shalom's assistance, without which neither victory nor peace could be won. What united all of his various efforts was the most profound sense of responsibility for the future of Klal Yisrael. Always his attention was not on the here and now, but on the future. We see this perhaps most clearly in his decision to divide his camp in half, and so on. And judged only as a military tactic, that could only be considered a mistake. The cardinal rule of military strategy is never to divide your forces in the face of the enemy. But Yaakov knew that what was most paramount was not present victory, but ultimate survival so as to ensure a future for Klal Yisrael. Everything that David and Jocelyn Stern do is animated by a sense of responsibility for the Klal. They're more than just the first couple of our shul. There's no aspect of the functioning of the Kehillah for which David, with Jocelyn's help, does not shoulder responsibility, from the budget to the physical plant to the various stokas with which the shul is involved, and always without fanfare or self-congratulation. And it is a deep sense of responsibility towards the Jewish people and its future that has drawn them to the cause of Hebron. They understand that the historic enterprise of building Eretz Yisrael cannot be based on short-sighted consideration and analysis. It must think not only of the present expedience, but of the future, of the next generation and the generation after that. They understand the significance of the Yerolos in Jewish history, and that this generation carries a great responsibility to preserve the city of our fathers for our children and our children's children. I'd like to express on behalf of the entire community, on behalf of the Young Israel of Midwood, and the whole Baptist community, the pride that we take in seeing them so rightfully honored tonight, and our thanks for their having set us such an outstanding example of Jewish responsibility. David and Dr. Stern, pass the over toward these, the Hebron 8 Flotilla.
In honor of Samuel and Magen Avraham awardees of Maryland, New Jersey. Wonderful honor. I'm sorry that the video continues.
You're able to help Hebron and asking us to a massive obstacle.
You should be strong, and you should be strong supporters of Israel and great role models to us all. Also.
Mazel tov.
Surveillance services to the Israeli military, and more important, he's providing a new pilot security program for Hebron. Thank you very much. And when you ask the guests of honor to write what's important to them, these people wrote that all of their grandchildren and children attended Hebrew day schools and are now in college. That's pretty good. Or on their way to college. Okay, we now have a very special treat. We have an Eshet Chayil Award. And our Eshet Chayil awardee is going to a lady who has a pretty remarkable story, and she also runs the Hebron office of American Friends of Hebron. Everyone else who takes credit for running it, Esther Aryeh runs it. She and her husband, Elias Hatanian, were born in Iran. This family went through great hardship to make it to the United States. Esther came here with her children without her husband because the family was not permitted to leave as a unit. They finally got together in the United States where people pay attention, where private citizens are being honored by tzedakahs. Their family is now together. They've known a lot of hardship, but they've also done a lot of good. And for the last 11 years, Esther has been working and running the HebronFund office after graduating from college 11 years ago. To present the award is Harriet Deitch. Ladies and gentlemen, our Eshet Chayil Award video first to Esther Aryeh, and then she'll get her award.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Hebron Fund and the people of Hebron, I'd like to all thank you for coming out and making this dinner a success. I'd like to thank all my volunteers, for without you, this dinner would not have taken place. Esther Aryeh, Mabruk on receiving this Eshet Chayil Award.
If Jews throughout history did not have a sense of humor, I don't think there would be any more Jews. So it's good that we can kid around, and it's good that we can use satire to bring home a point. But I think we also need to understand what tonight is about, what Hebron is about. Real Jews, men and women, boys and girls, live in a very holy place, surrounded by people who would like to see them dead, and given a chance would do that in a heartbeat. And we can't allow that to happen. We need people to live in Hebron, and we need to see to it that nobody else ever dies there by violent means. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, I think, a treat. All of us do. And I mean this very seriously. A couple of years ago, I had the privilege of introducing this young woman at a ZOA dinner, Zionist of America dinner, where she was the keynote speaker. And I must tell you, I think I'm a good speaker. I've listened to a lot of good speakers. I think she's an extraordinarily gifted speaker. But more than her talents as a speaker and as a writer, she walks the walk. She just doesn't talk or write about it. This young lady has so many credentials. I'm only going to give you a handful. She's graduated from Columbia University with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. She has a Master's of Arts in Public Policy from Harvard University's Kennedy School of Government. She was a member of the IDF in Israel. She was embedded with the United States Army in the Operation Iraqi Freedom. She was awarded a Distinguished Civilian Service Award from the United States Secretary of the Army for her battlefield reporting. In 2003, Ma'ariv named her the most prominent woman in Israel. Let me repeat that. The most prominent woman in Israel. Not since Golda Meir. Not since Golda Meir have I heard someone being referred to in the Israeli press as the most prominent woman in Israel. She is an editor of a political satire website, Latma TV, which produced the movie We Con the World. That video has been seen by millions of people around the world, and she has done more. She has done more with that video to restore the integrity and pride and intellectual honesty of the world press than any of us, and we owe her all a deep debt of gratitude. Let me just add one thing. I am on her email list, and I get all of the emails of the articles she prints twice a week in the Jerusalem Post. And every time I read one, I say, she can't do better. She does better with the next article. She's honest. She's hard-hitting. She loves Eretz Yisrael. She knows Eretz Yisrael. You should all stand and welcome Caroline Glick. And I call on the mayor of Hebron, Abraham Ben Yosef, and the spokesman of Hebron, David Wilder.
Well, despite what Ben said, this isn't just a serious occasion. We are here to celebrate. We are here to celebrate the Jewish community of Hebron. So let's celebrate. This is a happy occasion. And we're not just celebrating the Giborim who live in Hebron. We're celebrating the principle that they represent. We're celebrating the extraordinary tenaciousness of the Jewish people. Now, I think, every time that I think of the Jewish community of Hebron, I think of the image of the seventh step. And when I went to Hebron years ago, and David and Noam took me around, and they showed me the seventh step, which was the seventh step on the way to Ma'arat HaMachpelah. So at all the hundreds of years that Hebron was occupied by the Muslims, they denied Jews the right to pray in Ma'arat HaMachpelah. They said the closest that a Jew could get is the seventh step. And ever since that day that I saw, I have this image in my head of the stubborn Jew who will get as close as he can to our fathers and our mothers, to Kodshei Israel, and he will stand there like a tree. And he won't move, and he won't be humiliated, and nobody can make him leave. And that idea that we have that spirit and that stubborn dedication to the creed of the people of Israel, of Torah Israel, Eretz Israel, and Am Yisrael, that for hundreds and hundreds of years we had this Jew standing, Yeshar Ke'eretz, as tall as a cedar, and would not move. Didn't matter how they humiliated him, he waited and he said, Kaddish, for our avot and our imaot. And that, I think, is the pride of the Jewish people. And we have to remember that is the principle that we are celebrating today. And I need to tell you, all of us care deeply about Torah Israel and Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. And sometimes it becomes very difficult and tiring. And you get tired and you get frustrated. And for me, that image has always been a source of inspiration and strength. And so I have that to thank my Jewish brethren for. Because anytime that I get tired and I think about that Jew on the seventh step, I know what it is that I'm trying to advance and defend. I think that it's important for us this time of celebration to do two things. I think it's important for us to think and revel in what we have already accomplished. For the first time in the past 62 years, we the Jewish people are making our own history. In our land, under our sovereign rule, the Jewish people have again emerged on the world stage as an actor. For 2,000 years of exile, our history was done to us by other people. And then, when we declared independence in the land of Israel, the dawn of modern Zionism, we said we are taking our fate in our own hands and we are going to make our history. And that is what we have been doing for the past 62 years. And look at what we've done. look at what we've done. We have to, but we always concentrate on the problems. It's important for us to celebrate what we have done. Israel is a pint-sized giant in every single field of human endeavor. We're doing it. We're doing it. We have an extraordinary, beautiful state, and we are building it every single day. Exactly. Let's get some applause. But, and of course there's always the but, we have to also remember that Israel is a work in progress. And its star waxes and wanes with the spirit and the strength of the Jewish people. The stronger that we are, the stronger our belief and our faithfulness to our heritage, to who we are, the brighter we shine as a people, the brighter and the stronger and the more prosperous Israel is as a country. And I think that the Jewish community in Hebron is the North Star of our people. With this community's devotion to the Torah, to the land, and to the nation of Israel, we see a shining example of what it means to be that Jew who will not leave, who will not move, who understands what's important, who understands what the basis of our continued perseverance and survival is. And it is the loyalty, it is the faithfulness, it is the dutifulness to who we are as a nation and as a people. Yes. You know, on account of what I do for a living, I'm asked often when I give lectures what I think about Israeli politicians. And I, particularly in recent times, I'm reminded more and more of the story from the Talmud that says that the year before the Mashiach comes will be the year that we are led by dogs. And I don't know how many dog owners there are in this room. I happen to be one. And let me tell you something about dogs that you may or may not know. Dogs are not leaders. Dogs follow their masters. My dog doesn't go on leash. Her leash is in her head. She'll walk 3 steps in front of me, but she always waits to see where I want to go before she turns. She may be standing in front of me, but she's following me. And so when the Talmud says that the generation before the Mashiach is a generation where we will be led by dogs, what they mean is that people who are standing in front of us are actually waiting for us to tell them where to go. It's important for us to support the community of Jews in Hebron, and it is important for us to follow their example of devotion to the Jewish creed, to the land of Israel, to the people of Israel, and to the Torah of Israel. Because the truth of the matter is that the stronger that we are as a people, the more worthy our leaders will be of us. The stronger that we are, the more that we take our destiny in our own hands and move forward boldly as a people, the more we can expect from our leaders who are following us. There is no doubt in my mind, that the more boldly we lead, the more boldly our politicians will behave. And there's also no doubt in my mind that if we follow the example of the people of Hebron, and we support them in their efforts as well, and we all move together as a people in our land with a clear devotion to our heritage and to one another, not only will we see our politicians behaving in a way that is worthy to us, but I truly believe that we will also be bringing closer the Geulah. And the last thing that I want to tell you is that, oftentimes we hear people say about Israel, oh, well, it has to be a refuge for the Jewish people. It's a refuge for the Jewish people. The land of Israel is a refuge, but it is Nachlat Avotenu. And when we say Nachlat Avotenu, what is Nachlat Avotenu? First and foremost, it's their resting place, which is Hebron. Nachlat Avotenu is a Nachalah. It is our land. It is not a refuge. It is our home. it is where we go out and prosper in the world. We are not trying to build a ghetto in the land of Israel. We are building our country where Jews are free. That's what the Jews in Hebron do. And that is the example that they set for the rest of us. And we should follow them and we should celebrate them tonight and every day of the year. Thank you very much for honoring me. And thank you very much for honoring Hebron.
HebronFund. Hold the applause and throw money. In any case, I just want to share with you one brief thought. One brief thought. That tonight is a holiday. Tonight is the holiday of Eid al-Adha. It's the holiday where the Arabs celebrate Yishmael taking the place of Yitzchak on the Mount of Moriah at the Akedah. Don't think that the big lie was invented yesterday. Don't think the big lie was invented during World War II. We are fighting a battle for truth throughout our history, and I want to thank all those people, like Carolyn Glick, like Ben Brockman, like David Seidemann, like all honorees who made this such a special evening. We're going to be ending the program now. We're going to be ending with a repeat showing of We Con the World. Please make sure that you know that on the third floor there are all kinds of displays and auctions, and you'll be getting your gift bags on the way out. The Guineas table will be here on the first floor, and you're invited to go upstairs on the roof and take a look around and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you all so much for standing with Hebron.